What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
And I'm T-Bone.
And we're coming at you with another video today where we're going to be doing our wild card round playoff bracket. So this is where we're going to do a playoff bracket for all of the remaining teams, which so far is all 14 teams in the playoffs. So we'll just do a bracket prediction for the entire playoffs. I'm going to do one, then T-Bone's going to do one, then our special guest, Shadow. Say hi, Shadow.
So glad to be back. Thank y'all for having me again.
Always happy to have you. Shadow will also be doing his own bracket. So, y'all saw our predictions video, which came out previously, so y'all already kind of know the first round's going to go. This is a little bit of a continuation of that, but we will be doing this, and we're going to be doing this for every single round up through the conference championship. Then we'll just predict the Super Bowl. There's no need to do two videos for that, but we will continue doing the bracket stuff through the conference championship rounds. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. So this is, of course, what the bracket's going to look like. My prediction for Bills-Steelers is Buffalo Bills, and then I think the Chiefs will beat the Dolphins, and then I have the Cleveland Browns defeating the Houston Texans. So that's going to set up this divisional matchup. Ravens hosting Browns, Bills hosting Chiefs. And so I think that the Ravens will be able to defeat the Cleveland Browns. And then going over to Bills-Chiefs, I think that the Bills are going to be able to get the job done yet again against Kansas City, and they'll make the conference championship game against Baltimore, where I think Baltimore will be able to work their way all the way up to the Super Bowl. So Baltimore going to the Super Bowl. Now we move over to the NFC side, wild card round. I think that the Dallas Cowboys going to get the job done in their game against the Green Bay Packers, and then we go over to Lions-Rams. I think that Detroit will win that game, and then Eagles-Bucks. I got the Bucks getting the W. So that'll set up this divisional round matchup of San Francisco and Tampa Bay. And so I think that San Francisco is going to win that game. Of course, the other divisional matchup is Cowboys hosting the Lions, and I think the Lions gonna get their revenge and work their way all the way up to the conference championship game. We'll have to travel into San Francisco, and I think they're gonna fall just short. I wanted to pick the Lions so bad, but I gotta go with San Francisco in this one. And so that'll set up a Super Bowl 58 matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and San Francisco 49ers. Ravens, of course, the home team because AFC is home this year. So, I mean, not that it really matters, but it matters for top-bottom on this graphic, I guess. Regardless, Niners, Ravens, gonna meet up in Vegas for the ultimate showdown. And I have the Baltimore Ravens getting the job done and winning the Super Bowl, led by head coach John Harbaugh and quarterback Lamar Jackson. Alrighty, so that's my bracket prediction. Up next is gonna be T-Bone. T-Bone, passing this one off to you.
Thanks so much, Vegas. Let's get into this. So let's starting off with the wild card round with the Steelers and Bills. I've got the Bills. So, and then heading over to the Dolphins-Chiefs game on the other video, if you heard, I've got the Fins getting the upset. And with the Browns Texans game, I got the Browns. And with that happening, I've got the Ravens beating the Dolphins again. And then, unfortunately, I have the Bills stopping here, and I've got the Browns moving on. And I've unfortunately got, as much as I love the Joe Flacco eliteness, I've got the Ravens winning the conference championship and going on to the Super Bowl. And let's move down to the wild cards with the good brothers, the Packers and Cowboys. I've got the Cowboys winning this one. And let's move down to move up to Detroit. I've got the Lions winning this one. And then moving down to Tampa Bay, I've got the Bucks getting the upset on the Eagles. And with that, I've got the Niners handedly beating the Buccaneers. And then I've got the Lions beating the Cowboys. And unfortunately, like Vegas, I don't want this to be like 1991. I want them to win the conference championship, but it just can't be. It just can't be. Not this year. Soon will be their year. I've got the Niners, unfortunately, winning the conference championship. However, I think this is going to be a similar rematch to, I think, Week 16, whenever Ravens and 49ers fought. And I've got the Ravens coming in, and that's going to be my Super Bowl champions for Super Bowl, is it 58?
58.
58, yes, because there's 3 lines. I'm stupid. Thank you.
All righty. That is T-Bone. Shadow, you're up next. What do you got for us, Shadow?
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off already. Roll Berg. Give me the Steelers upsetting the Bills. Michael Penaway Tomlin, Mason Rudolph, gonna get it done, I believe. Give me the Chiefs beating the Dolphins. Dolphins are not going to be able to play in single-digit weather. And give me the Browns over the Texans. Love what the Texans are doing, but they're not going to beat the Browns. For the Steelers Ravens, we have beat them twice this year. We will not beat them a third. Ravens will beat the Steelers, as much as it breaks my heart. And the Chiefs will take on the Browns. I don't think the Chiefs are playing very well, but Pacheco, Kelsey, and Mahomes are hard to bet against. And then we will have the Chiefs versus the Ravens, where I will have the Ravens going to the Super Bowl this year. On our NFC side, we got the Packers versus the Cowboys. Love how the Packers are dealing with the situation, but the Cowboys are looking good. I got to go with the Cowboys. Rams versus Lions. This is going to be a fun game. This is going to be a close game, but I got the Lions edging out the Rams. Eagles, Buccaneers. I'm not on the Bucs hype train. I'm not. I got the Eagles winning this game, even though they're not playing well. Eagles versus 49ers. Give me the 49ers. They got a super team over there in San Fran. I trust them. Lions, Cowboys. Lions are going to get the W they rightfully deserve. They got robbed the last game. I will stand by that. And just like y'all, as much as I want them to go through, this is where their run stops. The San Francisco 49ers will beat the Detroit Lions, and I will also have the 49ers versus the Ravens. But I have the 49ers winning it all. I think they will get their junk together. I don't think 2 Harbaughs are going to win championships this year. I think the 49ers have such a good team, and if there's a year to do it, I think this is the year to do it. So I got the 49ers, and my MVP, CMC, taking home the MVP for the Super Bowl.
Well, that's going to wrap that up. I would like to, before we check out, discuss our results a little bit. Noticed our NFCs all looked very similar, with the only differentiation being Shadow picking the Eagles, where they promptly lose to the 49ers anyway. Like, the matchups don't really change there. Our AFCs get a little freaky, though. So,
yeah, I think NFC's looked good this year, but I feel like there are clear winners in the NFC. I think the AFC is all toss-ups this year. I think the entire NFL is a toss-up, but I think the AFC more than anything is a toss-up.
I agree. The AFC is very twitchy this year. NFC, you can kind of point to guys and be like, yeah, I can definitely see you going far. Yeah, I think the buck stops here for you. But AFC, you can really point to most any of the teams in the playoffs and be like, any of you could make some noise.
Yeah, I was about to say there's some teams that didn't make the playoffs that also I feel like could have made some noise. Like, I feel like the AFC is so tight-knit. Like, the Bills don't feel like a 2 seed. I don't know if that's just me, but they do not feel like a 2 seed.
No one really feels like a 2 seed in the AFC. That's the thing. It's like, oh, we have the Ravens, and then everybody else is just not as good as the Ravens. Like, this, at the end of the day, this is the Ravens to lose. Not only do they have the bye, like they get an extra week of rest, they're also just better than everybody else by a pretty comfortable metric. The only team that I could see being close is Cleveland. Like, if there's one team in the AFC that I think has a chance at beating the Baltimore Ravens, it's the Cleveland Browns. One of those 2 teams is going to the Super Bowl in my mind.
I agree completely. I want to say the Ravens are the better team, obviously, and they've got the higher chance, but I think the Browns could certainly make it. I do. I think they could make the Super Bowl.
I think I think any of these teams can make like a sneaky run. Like we talked about it in our wild card prediction video, but I said like I can see like the Rams making a run. Like I know we all have Lions going to the conference championship, but
Rams
like
could do it.
that's going to be a close match, and that's going to be a good match. And like we said in the AFC, like Browns can make a run. Don't get me wrong, Texans could beat the Browns. Who knows? Like,
I agree. I was going to comment on that. None of us have the Texans making it out of the wild card, but they certainly could. Make no mistake,
Yeah.
they certainly could.
The thing for me is there are some teams who are capable of winning their first playoff game but not going further. Like, the Texans could beat the Browns, but the Texans haven't been consistently good enough where if they beat the Browns, they're also then going to have to go in and beat the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Dolphins. I actually don't
Yep.
think they would play... Actually, there is a scenario in which they play the Dolphins. But regardless, I don't... The Texans... Congratulations on winning your division and making the playoffs. You're not a team that's going far. I just don't trust them.
they're
They
just
haven't
too
been
young.
consistent enough. They are good enough to beat any team here, but they are not good enough to beat every team here multiple weeks in a row. Consistency has been an issue for so many teams in the NFL this year. The reason the Ravens and the Browns are we value them so highly is that they are not only the best of the best, but they've been consistent about it. Like, the Lions, we've got them going forward. The Lions haven't actually been the most consistent team on planet Earth. Neither have the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know? And that's a
Yeah.
concern.
And that's the thing about playoffs is that you don't just have to overcome one team. You got to overcome the best teams from your conference, and you have to keep winning. That's the thing. You lose one game, you're out. You're done. So, and that's the thing. You got to keep up the wins. You can't take a bye week. You can't take a rest. So,
Yeah, and that's why I like what you said about consistency, Vegas, is that, like, the Ravens have been the most consistent team easily in the NFL. Like, they have just shown week in, week out. Like I said in our freaking predictions, I'm like, CMC is my MVP, and I will die on that hill. But Lamar Jackson has put up one heck of a season, and he has played so good. I can just see them, like, this can be their year, 100%. But it's like, I don't know what they're going to do when they go through the Steelers or the Bills or the Chiefs or the Dolphins or the Browns. Like, are they going to be able to hold up against a juggernaut of teams and then finish it off in the Super Bowl? I don't know. I think the 49ers have a better chance of doing that.
yeah.
The thing about San Francisco compared to Baltimore, if one of let's say McCaffrey goes down and Deebo Samuel goes down, the Baltimore
over.
Ravens are already down a lot of their best players, and they're still playing better than anyone else in the NFL. The thing about San Francisco, they have 4 losses this year. They have that loss against the Ravens, and they had a 3-game losing streak where Christian McCaffrey was hurt that entire time. If McCaffrey gets hurt, they're done. I don't even know if they could beat the Lions.
I wouldn't say they're done if McCaffrey gets hurt. I mean,
Their chances go down a lot, though. Because
Deebo,
we have McCaffrey as the MVP, and, like, don't get me wrong, the rest of the team is very good, but McCaffrey is the core of that team. Now, I mean, I'm looking at the NFC. There are only 2 teams who I really trust have a chance against San Francisco, and it's Los Angeles and Detroit. Those are the 2 teams I think could do it.
Yeah, I don't think Cowboys could do it.
No.
Yeah, I just wish that they weren't playing in the first round. Like, I think it's cool. Like, that's a matchup that I want to see, but I hate that one of these teams has to go home this early. Unfortunately, Rams' injuries midseason just killed their record, so in my ideal world, the Eagles should be back at the 6 seed, and the Rams should be at the 5 seed, and that way the Lions and Rams would go on to the next round, and we'll see. You know, like the Rams would probably have to run into San Fran, but I certainly think it's a more fair evaluation of where the teams are actually at right now and what they've deserved.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but Yeah, no, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch these playoffs. I mean, some good matchups, some ugly matchups, lots of chaos. We love the chaos here in the NFL. Regardless, should be lots and lots of fun. Please be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Feel free to drop your own bracket or anything else you'd like. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.